Stylizing Transformers Part 1. Hotshot. Hotshot was born after the war and was unplanned. His father would spend most of his nights committing crimes and doing drugs while his mother would either be passed out on the couch from energon wine or cheating on her husband. They were very neglectful of Hotshot. At the age of 6 he could walk out of the house and they wouldn't notice he would walk at the house and go to the cube courts. That's how he learned to play cube really good. One day he went into his mother's room and found a prescription bottle filled with an unknown medication. Seeing the bright and colorful pills inside, he obviously assumed they were candy and ate the whole bottle. It wasn't till he walked out onto the cube courts when the drugs started to take effect and he dropped down to the ground and having a seizure. Luckily he survived, and an Autobot named Prowl found out what his parents were doing and how he got a hold of such a drug. They were obviously apprehended and their parental rights taken away from them, but since they were trying to build up Cybertron, foster care system was still in progress, and thanks to the many losses, most of his family either dead or too old to take care of him, so he was abandoned. He spent most of his days on the cube courts since he had no other home to go to. Since his original home was still under investigation, he went days without having energon. He barely had money to afford some. It wasn't until he was 15 when Optimus saw him and saw his way of living, and that's when he offered for him to go to a special academy where he would be taking care of. Hotshot gracefully accepted. There is just one thing different about him. Even though he might act all cocky, he is terrified of getting expelled and being asked to go home because he doesn't want to go back to the place where he was abandoned and had to fight for survival for 15 years.